Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Today we have Bialytic Decay, band from the early 90s Dallas-Fort Worth area metal scene. And so today we're going to welcome our guest, Chance, Rodney, Mark. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, backstories. So Rodney, and then Mark, and then Chance, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the metal scene.
Well, I was a martial artist and I blew out both of my knees, so I went to my second love, which was music, and I always liked heavy music from when I was a little kid.
How did you hear it when you were a kid? Older brother?
Well, I mean, they liked rock and stuff, but no, I was waiting in line at a Motley Crue tickets, and this guy in front of me had a big jam box, and all night long we like camped out, and all night long he played Kill 'Em All. And when I went in, I bought Kill 'Em All, and then by the time Motley Crue came, I didn't even really want to go. It changed my life.
Awesome.
That was like 1983.
Okay.
Crew.
All right.
But I was into metal already. I mean, Black Sabbath and what metal there was.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Mark.
All right. My dad was a musician, and he played, the standard like Eric Clapton and stuff like that. Then my mom was heavily into music, and I was always asked her, what's the heaviest band you got here? And our vinyl collection, and she had this Earth, Wind, and Fire album, which was awesome, though. I still to this day love Earth, Wind, and Fire. But then I discovered Kiss, and that changed my whole perspective. It was like sixth grade I discovered Kiss. Then shortly after that, in junior high, it was AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, all the standards. Then I heard Exodus, Bonded by Blood, and that I was done with all that
Nonsense.
less you know what I'm saying? And then I picked up a guitar. I couldn't play anything. And then I met Marcus Palazzini, and I went to his house. He was in the Nasty Savage, and the SOD album just came out, and Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath. And I had those two on cassette. And he was listening to Nasty Savage. I was like, dude, you got to check these bands out. And we jammed one time, and I played a riff. He goes, who's that? I said, I just made that riff up. And he's what got me into wanting to be in a band, because otherwise I thought I sucked. But I came up with this really cool riff, and he was like, oh. And we formed the first band, Deadly Force, which Rodney was also a member of.
Nice. And what year was that?
That was 1988, maybe?
87 is when we recorded the demo.
All right, then before 88, then like 85, maybe 86.
Jesus.
I know, right?
All right, Chance.
All right. Yeah. So Chance Lehman is the name. Music. I've been in music since probably second grade. Grandparents got me into it. Gospel music, piano, stuff like that. Got into percussion in junior high, band stuff. High school, quickly realized I didn't want to do that anymore, to get into, like metal bands. But to back up a little bit more, about fourth grade, I think that might have been 83. I got it.
Grade. Wow.
That's when I got it. I bought a metal compilation cassette, and I can't remember the name of it, but it had like Van Halen on it. It had Triumph, Rainbow, bunch of cool shit. Really got me into the metal. And then the first real metal song that got me going was Holy Diver. And then, of course, Black Sabbath. I am Iron Man. Shortly after that, I found Dio, found Black Sabbath, and then never looked back. That's pretty much how I got into metal.
Nice. So I think, Mark, you talked about Kiss. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
What one band do you remember hearing and thinking, that's what I want to do? Or what song was it? For me, I would just say for me, although I was never in a band, but I always liked music, it was Kiss.
Yes.
My brother had Elvis. He loved Elvis, and he had the blue vinyl, whatever it was. And he'd always put that on. But I'm like, no, I want Kiss. So he'd put on Kiss, and I would open up the double live album, the first one, and I would just, like, I could read at 3 years old, right? But just kind of look at everything, and think that's what I like, right? So for each of you, what was that band or what was that song?
For me, Kiss, it was 100,000 Years. That song to me just spoke volumes. And God of Thunder. Those two songs there were Kiss classics.
Paranoid Sabbath.
Paranoid Sabbath.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Looks like you have something on your head.
It's the Evil Dead song. Evil Dead painting.
No, but 100,000 Years is probably my favorite all-time Kiss song. And Strutter. I like Strutter too, though. I mean, a lot of them I like, but I outgrew Kiss.
I
Kiss.
never really liked Kiss.
I know.
I mean, I like them, but I never got into Kiss.
Well, see,
Like their studio albums I didn't like the guitar sound.
no. Yeah.
Live, it was good.
Well,
but-
Kiss Alive too, or Kiss Alive is what.
Yeah.
That brought him out of the graveyard.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Because they were done. But Kiss was a gateway drug to metal for me.
It was, like I said earlier, it was Holy Diver for me. That was the one that really got me going. It's like, this is freaking awesome.
You went to Holy Diver and then Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
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 Biolytic Decay. We had 2 recordings, The Rise of Evil and Digicide, right? So what was it like getting the songs together for The Rise of Evil? Y'all just hammer them out, or it just came naturally? What happened?
Oh no, we had to hammer those songs out. They were not, they were very complicated songs. And we just worked, we practiced tirelessly. That was one of the bands we practiced at least 3 or 4 times a week. And you had to play that music, And a lot of it did come naturally. Well, it was my revenge band because I got fired from Gamicide. Well, they say fired, but I just quit showing up for practice. And then they came over and told me that I was no longer in the band. And when I formed Biolytic Decay, I went and recruited Brian and Chance from Stoner Expedition. And I didn't even have a guitar or an amp, but I was working at the college, UTA, University of Texas at Arlington, and I'd been there for a few years, and I quit. And when you quit, you get this teacher retirement fund thing, right? So I was able to afford equipment, and that's when we started, because I had a practice amp, of course, and we were writing songs just, on practice amps. We didn't have the full gear, and then we got the full gear, it was on. And it's a lot of rehearsal went into that band.
Yeah, that was a lot of rehearsal. I remember that. You didn't have shit. I think Brian and I didn't we have a flyer out or something looking for a guitar player?
It's frozen. Oh, there it goes.
I think we had a flyer out, right? How did we get in touch with you, Mark? I can't remember that.
It was through an advertisement.
Yeah.
We had a little thing in there that Stoner Expedition looking for a vocalist.
Yeah.
And I went and tried out for you guys. And I was like, man, this bass player and this drummer is fucking amazing. The guitar player, though, not so much.
No. Yeah. So that was Dave.
Yeah.
We were just getting started then.
I know. I remember we recorded like a song or two on that 4-track you had.
Yeah.
And it was just, and I was like, man, I talked to you guys and said, man, we need to get a new band together, a faster, heavier band.
Yeah. Yeah. Brian and I, obviously, we went to high school together and got hooked up through skateboarding mainly. Had a few classes together, but mainly skateboarding, and fucking both loved metal. And he was a drummer. I was just starting to learn to play bass. And so we would come over to my house and set up in the garage and fucking jam Sabbath tunes after school every day until we just started locking in. And then we started Stoner Expedition.
You were locked in. Y'all two were like a force to be reckoned with as far as rhythm section goes.
We hung out together all the time, played together all the time. It took a lot of effort to get locked in like that, which I think carried over into the Rise of Evil rhythm section for sure.
Yes, we would practice nonstop, sometimes 24 hours a day.
You're killing me, Smalls.
It was a lot. I remember practicing in freaking on these nasty ass fucking single car garage with a bunch of carpet all over the fucking place. That place so hot.
Chemicals involved, but we're not going to talk about those.
It would only be like 150 in there.
Yeah, it only like 2,000 degrees inside there, yes.
When y'all made the recording, what studio did y'all use?
Didn't we use the old
Vorpal.
What was it?
When did the old Pantego sound?
No.
It wasn't. It was that redheaded guy that worked at Pipe Dreams, right?
Yeah, Brian.
Brian, yes.
It's called Vorpal Studios.
Vorpal, there you go. All right.
Is that the same studio that Gamicide recorded?
No.
No, okay.
They recorded at Sound Logic, I believe.
When y'all did the recording and had all your songs laid flat, so what is it, like a once and done kind of thing? You've played through it once and it's all done, or did you have to go back and do a lot of retakes? Because it sounds...
There's a whole story behind this, right? All right. We went and did the drum tracks, right? And I had long hair at the time. And then my hair started thinning on top. So I decided to shave my head. And we came back to do guitar tracks. And I couldn't play the guitar for shit. having to do overdub after overdub, and they were saying it was like a Samson and Delilah thing, where I lost my hair, so I couldn't play now. But finally, I got it together and made it through that. That was one of the hardest recording sessions I ever done.
We were talking about the Rising of Evil and the recording of that. Did y'all tour for that, or is it just local shows getting the tape and music in people's hands?
Yeah, all around DFW, and we played in Austin once, and that's about it.
What was the reception like when y'all had that in people's hands?
Well, it was always good. People loved us.
Stunned.
I remember one time we played at a manga, and I was in the bathroom, and guys were taking a piss. They're like, "Man, did you hear that last band? I've never heard of that." So that made me feel pretty.
Not too long after that, was it a year or 2 years that y'all recorded Digicide?
Right, that same year.
Yeah, it was within a year, I think. We
We were only together like a couple of years.
I like the raw sound of the Rising of Evil, but when I heard Digicide for the first time, it was like a lot more solid sound, right? There was, I don't know, more production in it, but it's just more cohesive and tighter, right?
Yeah.
And so what was the fan response with that one?
So I think those songs were pretty damn long, right? We went from probably 4 or 5 minute songs on the Rising to in 7-8 minute songs on the Digicide EP stuff. It was receptive. I mean, a lot of people love that shit, but the songs were really long, so you just leave people just like kind of jaw dropped. It seemed just like, I don't know what to do. Do I mosh? Do I fucking try to emulate? What do I do here? Yeah.
They're like an 8-long thrash.
Yeah,
the entire
those
time.
songs were a beating to play live. I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
I think the reception was great.
I don't know if yours was doing it. Mine, one song at that Vorpal place, and then the other 2 songs were recorded at another studio. And by that time, we had another guitar player too. That besides Palazzini had dropped out. And
take it on any of the recordings.
Yeah,
because
I think when we moved from the Rising stuff, the song structures and what we were writing and how we were playing, we just started to lock in with the Digicide stuff and really mesh it and fucking just.
It was more technical, and
we're getting better as musicians. I mean, what was I? I was probably 18 then, maybe 19. Brian and I had only really been playing for 3 or 4 years, I think.
That's crazy.
And so we were just starting to evolve, I think, as a band, really. So I think the sound, our sound, even on live, our sound was getting better. We were figuring out how to tune our amps and make shit sound good and sort of crafting our sound. And then it just carried over into the studio.
Nice. So y'all talked about playing DFW lots. What was your best performance that you remember? I'll say it that way.
Best performance that I remember.
Probably Dallas City Limits.
Yeah.
That and the back room in Austin.
Yeah, the back room.
The back room performance is really well, yes.
Performance was good, but I think
they booked us with these 2 bands that were not metal at all on a Sunday night, and they were like Duran Duran or something, and they booked us with them, and people were like, their jaws hit the ground, and we started off, I think, with Death by Digicide.
And plus, right before we camped at
they just went
acid.
Yes.
We went scuba diving, acid, and I seen the big catfish I fucking life. The size of a VW fucking Volkswagen.
Yeah.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery that reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Lake Travis. We were camping at Windy Point at Lake Travis. Popular scuba diving spot in Austin for that whole trip, which was a blast.
And I remember we were 2 o'clock in the morning, we had the boombox with Exhorder playing, and we had these hippies come over and tell us to turn it down. We just fuck you. And then Scott Shelby took a shit in the lake. I remember that one too. And remember those chicks at the apartment? Because Tony Fisher was there.
They got like a ham out and played soccer in their living room with a frozen ham.
Yeah, and then Tony Fisher, he jumped up on that chick's, she had a beat out front, and he fell on top of it and dented the whole hood in. It's crazy.
Yeah, he fell up on it.
He fell up. Yes, that was his saying. He fell up.
So you said, was it Dallas City Limits and then the back room in Austin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I unfortunately, I never had the honor or privilege to see y'all play live, but what was your set like? Was it 4 or 5 songs? Was it by song limit or time count, or how did that work for you?
About a 30-minute. It was like a 30-minute long set.
Yeah, 30 minutes, 45 minutes sometimes.
Yeah, so like 2 songs.
Yeah. So,
No, it was. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Joe's Garage gigs.
opened for Suffocation.
longer than.
I thought we opened for Suffocation one time. at Joe's Garage.
I think so.
Yes, because we gave that guy our cassette tape at the show.
Yeah.
Do you remember who it was?
Hobbs, that's his name.
Terrence Hobbs. Okay.
Yes.
You know, gateway bands a little bit. I remember, I think Chance, you had talked about Suffocation in high school.
Yeah.
And that kind of led me down one path. I've been down several paths with different music just from, you know, listening to y'all. And I remember, I think you were able to record maybe a rehearsal for me one time back when we had like Spanish class together or something.
Yeah.
And I heard that. Oh my gosh. It was like, you know, Napalm Death was one of my favorites at the time, but I'm like, Napalm Death has nothing on this band. I mean, and not only was it just heavy, but it was good, right? There's some bands that were heavy, but it was just nonsense, you know? But for me, I could like absorb it, take it in. It's like, yes, I like this. This is really good.
I appreciate that, sir. Worked very hard on that band, you know. That's how it came to an end. It's kind of my fault.
So we're going to take a little bit of a departure, kind of go back in time a little bit. And so a member of the band that's no longer with us, Brian Perez. So I had the privilege of being friends with Brian in early high school. And for me, I was more of an observer. I really was not into crowds and people. I just, you know, I was happy with 2 or 3 people, but I could easily see how Brian had this amazing talent with everything. He was book smart. He was street smart. Seeing him skating, it was just like natural. I'm like, how does this guy do it, right? And so in terms of music talent, I know he was pretty much professional level when I heard him, like initially. And then hearing some of these recordings come back to life or come back and make it on the internet nowadays, just like, oh my gosh, you know. And it just brought to mind conversations I'd have with him, like he's, hey, you like Slayer? I'm like, I don't know, man, they're kind of scary looking, you know. He's like, no, I think you'll like them. Listen to South of Heaven, you know, and Silent Spring. That kind of got me into Slayer. And so when I heard Brian's drumming, it was just like, it was kind of like comparable to Dave Lombardo, but more intense and faster and almost more explosive. I don't know how to say it.
Nice, actually. He was one of the most precise drummers I've ever jammed with. I remember we used to live together. Couldn't really jam loud in the apartment, right?
Right.
So he would get his drums and he would play on like phone books, maybe a empty paint bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Sit there and write riffs. It would sound fucking unbelievable.
When I first joined the band, he had like these, his drum kit was like some trash cans. They were terrible.
But he made them sound fucking.
Yeah. But they were like held together with duct tape and glue.
Yep.
And then we pitched in and got him some good drums, and then he was wow.
So what was it like playing with Brian live?
It was great. Flawless.
It was on time.
He'd play a little faster than when we played at rehearsal, so we had to keep up with him.
Yeah.
That seems like every band we were ever in, though.
Yes. Every time he played live, except when I was in Puncture, because we had a DAT and we were stuck to 120 beats per minute, you know. And if you get off that. But we had the song Digicide, which was like an 8-minute-long song. And sometimes live, we would condense it into like 5 minutes. So
wow.
That tells you how fast. We took 3 minutes off the song by playing it so fast.
I was lucky enough to learn to play with Brian at the same time he was kind of crafting his skill set. It was fun. He could miss a beat, but it wasn't really missing a beat because he'd make it up and you wouldn't even know. It would sound like Phil. And unless you had jammed with him like on the regular and knew what was supposed to be what, you wouldn't even notice. I mean, he was that good at covering stuff like that. And
because I played with some crappy drummers, and that's the worst thing. I think the best part of any band is the weakest part of the drummer. You know,
Oh yeah, definitely.
you can make mediocre drummer and it still be, but you can have great musicians with it. Still gonna be a shit. You know, it's my
Yeah, it's foundation, right? I
Yep.
mean, and he was a damn good foundation to bounce stuff off of for sure.
and you're amazing yourself.
You know, it brings to mind just some of the dynamic duos growing up, you know, like Michael Anthony and Alex Van Halen, you know, and then Dimebag and, you know, Vinny on drums, just that cohesion that's just solid, right? And it carries the song, you know, and just fills the space, you know, with good music. So I'm going to go into a little commentary here called Plow the Earth. So years and years, I searched in music stores all over DFW, North Texas for the Biolytic Decay releases. Because I'd heard of them and, you know, Chance had shared a song or two, could not get my hands on them. Even when we traveled out of state for vacation, out of crazy, you know, independent music stores, couldn't find it, right? And occasionally someone would say, yeah, I've heard of the band, but that's all I know. So checked eBay, music resellers, indie distributors. I asked everyone I knew. But thank God in 2025 AD, I saw the online releases of the recordings, thanks to efforts of Chance and y'all bringing that to life.
It's all the credit there.
So when you have these now online, right? Have you had people reach out to you, come out of the woodwork, and start putting thoughts in your mind? Hey, maybe you ought to do a reunion show. What's that like?
So I've talked to these guys about that, but you know, I don't know about that. As far as externally, I haven't gotten anything. Really, the point I wanted to do is get it out of the cassettes, get it out of the magnetic tape, and get it digitized somehow, because I was afraid we were going to lose it. It took me forever to find the Rising stuff. I didn't have it. I had the Digicide EP stuff. I did not have the Rising. I don't know what happened to it, but luckily a good friend of mine, Chris Gaines, still had a tape. And from that cassette tape, I was able to load it up, digitize it. And it's not the greatest sounding, and I'm working on that too. We're working to remaster that a little bit. So there might be another remastered version coming soon of the Rising stuff. So really that was the point. And after I got it on, we did some, I put some stuff on YouTube. There's a Biolytic site, YouTube site, for anyone that wants to go to that. There's some videos from some Joe's Garage shows. I think the quality's not so great, but it does show some cool stuff. But then I left it. I haven't promoted it. I'm not like pushing it or anything like that. So it's just kind of out there right now. And we haven't really thought about, I haven't thought about pushing it any harder or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just wanted to.
It would be impossible for me to do a reunion. I get off work, and until my mom goes to bed, I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And really, Brian,
I live next door to her, and she's got dementia, and I take care of her when I get off work. So
Yeah, I think the main part of that too is you know, we no longer have Brian, and it would be, I don't say it's impossible. It could be done.
it wouldn't be.
It would be different, right? It wouldn't be the same. And you know, I don't know. But I still poke these guys about it. They'll tell you every time I talk to them, I'm like, so you learned those songs yet? Relearn them? Good.
Talking about, you know, reunion shows. There are some bands that should play reunion shows, and there are many out there that should have stopped long ago. I am all in as a fan if y'all decide to and are able to. But then again, I was thinking, you know, as you talked about, Chance, you know, it's not the same. Brian is not in the band anymore. But maybe I'll still do some recordings, right? Put a song out or two. Just, it'll be the internet band thing, right? But it's getting those juices flowing again.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Playlist, right? Everyone's got a playlist, whether you're on the internet or not. You got something in your car or truck, cassette tape, CDs, which I still prefer, right? Because I like to read all the liner notes and stuff. But what are some of the lesser known metal bands or other bands that y'all are listening to?
Stop it.
Well, I don't know if they're lesser known. I've gotten in or back into some of the German speed metal kind of thrash. So Infestation, I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yep.
And then I recently started checking out Inverted Cross out of Spain.
Okay.
So that's cool stuff. So not really lesser known, I guess. They're more known than what you're probably talking about. As far as up and coming bands, I'm not really sure of any off the top of my head right now. I don't know about the other guys.
Well, I'm more into the more doomy, slower, sludgy stuff nowadays, you know. So I like Monolord, you know, Orange Goblin, Electric Wizard, stuff like that. I hate God.
How about you, Rodney?
I'm into Exhorder a lot.
He likes
Always have been.
He's a huge fan of Zebra
Who?
Lion.
Not really.
Look at him. You can tell he loves Zebra and White Lion.
No, I thought Rodney was more into the Viking metal these days.
Yeah, he was. He likes to row boats. But actually,
I'm still into old school thrash. That's it.
20,000 Leagues, son.
They were. I'm in Armonth. Was how do you say it? Chance?
On him.
Amon Amarth.
Yeah, they're interesting to see live.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Children of Bodom. They're good. They were. But really, I mean, when I listen to music, I listen to the class. Actually, I've been listening to like a lot of Free. I love that band. Paul Rogers is one of the greatest frontmen of all time. My hippie.
Coming to a close here for this interview, what would you tell fans that still like your music, right? Or even new fans that have discovered it? What would you tell them just about the band that, may not be out on the internet yet, right? Because this was pre-internet, of course. What future plans do y'all have, either individually or as a group?
I don't know. We're all fucking old. I plan on and hopefully not wearing diapers in the next 10 years. No, I still sing some jam. I live in Curve, and I try to find the jam, but everybody around here is a bunch of singer-songwriter stuff, but I'm not really into all that. And every time I find a metal band, they want to like rock stars day one, And I'm like, there's really no money in metal, And really, the record industry is pretty much done anyway. It's all DIY. I'm fine with that. I don't know. As far as the future of Violent Decay, hopefully people get a chance to check it out,
Yeah, that's all we were really wanting to do.
Because I think it's some good.
Let people check it out.
I think it's some really good shit. People need to listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as future plans, yeah, I still poke these guys, like I said, about it. I poke my son. My son plays drums. We're working on that too, just messing around. But as far as for Biolytic, yeah, that's just to get this stuff out there. Maybe remaster some more, clean it up. Some of those tapes are pretty rough to today's standards for sure.
Maybe write a new song if you're
Yeah,
maybe.
You never know. We could get a new song going. With all the technology now, like you said, or internet bands really call us that, but we could definitely write a song, maybe get together in the room once or twice, and that'd be it, and we could record it. And
that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And even though I can't play fast anymore, I still can play fast. I just choose.
Yeah.
What do you got in your head, Rodney? It looks
It's my tiara.
It does look kind of weird tiara.
That's Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead.
Oh, I have my sunglasses. Oh, there we go. I can see it now.
You gotta put your readers on.
Movement number 4. Dragon seeks path.